Hey everyone, it is the end of September already and it's time to think about your spring garden. So today I'm bringing you my spring bulb haul that I purchased from Costco. And a side note here, my Costco in Mount Laurel, New Jersey did not have nearly as much quantity as they usually do, and they actually had limited varieties. Some of the bulbs were new varieties, but not really many. Luckily, since I've been shopping over the past few years for bulbs there, I'm fairly familiar with what we already have, what is reliable, and what I was looking out for this year. So lo and behold, I do have a haul here, not nearly as much as I did last year. And first I'm going to tell you why. We have an ever-changing landscape here in our backyard garden. We are located in Zone 7A. We are northwestern Burlington County, New Jersey, and we do get 4 seasons here. Our winters last year were much colder than normal, so we did get a good bloom of flowers this year from our tulips. Actually, the tulips were more beautiful than ever. Whether or not they're going to return again, we're not really sure because of the conditions that we're planting in. And I'm going to get into that with you in a second. But for now, I wanted to show you what I bought and what I'm looking forward to seeing in the spring. All right, first selection. Crocus. I absolutely love crocus. Farmer John loves them as well. This bag is a little bit different. Normally I'll plant shades of purple, which we have dappled all through the backyard, and last year they were the first thing to pop up and they were absolutely beautiful. Now for me, I think my favorite is the white because it comes up and it's a spotlight in the dark garden. Purple is beautiful and you can see the lighter shades of purple. Darker shades of crocus tend to get lost in your mulch a little bit, but light purple and white are winners. Now, this year will be my first trying to get this yellow variety into the ground. I absolutely love them. The thing that is so important about growing crocus is as the bees awake in the springtime from all the different places in your garden where they may have overwintered, they are absolutely looking for a food and pollen source. Crocus offer an incredible amount of pollen and they are readily available, so while the bees are waking up, you've got these beautiful colorful babies here. It will tell you on the bottom this is a sun shade mix, so this is great as a border anywhere. I've even seen places where they plant them in the lawn directly, and it is incredible to see. If you have good soil and it's not too soggy, you can go ahead and do that. So we are going to plant these in our new bed. I can attach that video link for you where we built a raised English wall in the front of our house. So we're catching up in the front this year, so because last year we planted tons in the back. Now, my tulip selection this year, we really are taking it easy with tulips because we've planted so many over the past 2 years, and quite frankly, I cannot remember where I have put all of them. Now, in many places here, tulips are perennial and they come back if they are planted in the right conditions. So if this is your first time planting tulips in a zone that actually gets winter exposure, make sure that your bulbs go into conditions that are very, very well drained. If you plant your tulip bulbs in heavy clay, you'll see them most likely in the first year, but they'll probably rot after that and you may not see them again. So it is a risky investment when you're buying bulbs. So we went ahead, and again, this is for the front. This is the third time I'm buying this variety here, which is Sunset Mix. It was very, very reliable. Many of the colors returned from the year before, and everything you see on the bag is everything that you get. The shades are incredible. Some of the flowers sort of fade into striated colors of pink and purple at the same time. There's a very beautiful yellow shade that comes up in here, and we absolutely love this one. Again, if you're going to go ahead and plant these, you're going to want to do it in well-drained soil. Give them a bulb fertilizer when you do it. And keep in mind, it's really very important that you actually have a winter in your area if you're looking to grow tulips. And even if you do have winter coming, they need to be cold stratified. So your best set of circumstances will be that you can pop these guys in the refrigerator for maybe 2 weeks before you put them in the ground and let them really get that cold burst. And then there's things to consider for the springtime after they've bloomed, and what you should do with the straps and how you can encourage them to come back and be truly perennial bulbs. Now, rabbits do love tulips. We have rabbits here that munch on them like they are some buffet smorgasbord, and you can plant hundreds and hundreds of tulips and the rabbits will very, very quickly mow them down. So this year, while we are planting them in a high-risk area because the front of our property does get wild feral rabbits, but the back does not. So that's why we planted so many tulips in the back, because we have a stockade fence and we've secured the bottom perimeter of the fence so no rabbits can get in. Now, these beautiful bulbs are going to be a high risk, but here's what we're going to do to hope to discourage the rabbits from eating them. So what helps discourage rabbits from eating your tulips? Planting wonderful daffodils near them. Now, last year I planted a few varieties, and I'll tell you, I love them so much. One of the varieties that I planted, this guy right here, I forget what it's called. Maybe we can go back through our videos and link it for you so you can see what varieties we planted last year. But I can't get enough of daffodils. These guys lasted a very, very long time in the garden. They rebloom every year. They're very, very reliable. And we have these guys in very harsh conditions. Most of these bulbs were here when we bought the house and planted by the previous homeowner, and they are the gift that keeps giving. We are seeing them every year for 11 seasons now, from the ones that were originally here. So last year we planted all sorts of narcissus and different daffodils, and I'm hoping that they all return. So out of this variety, this guy will be new for us, and I think this one here. I wish I knew what they were called individually. They are not specified on the back of the bag, where sometimes you will get different bulbs in these bags and they're separated by variety. So maybe inside they're separated. I won't really know until I open them, and that's not going to happen until they go through a cold stratification, as I said. But I do also have one more variety of daffodil that I want to show you. It's so hard to choose, and really I could have hundreds and hundreds of varieties, but I have to see how well they do in our climate and in the new soil conditions that we're planting in, so I don't want to overwhelm myself. But when I saw Tahiti, I had to have it. Look at the beautiful color on this flower here. Absolutely gorgeous. They give you a little bit of an idea of what it might look like in mass planting. Can't wait to see this one. So the Longfield Gardens varieties, they do pretty good. They've been reliable, and we've had a really good bloom rate on them. So again, I think it's probably because we do have an actual winter. They need that cold burst, and tulips and daffodils really need a nice bright sunny area because it helps to regenerate them for the second season. So if you're taking these into consideration, not only will you want to know what sort of soil you're planting in, and hopefully you can offer them some good drainage and fertilizer, but you'll want to make sure that they're going in a sunny spot. Now, my daffodils get only part sun in the front, but they, like I said, they keep coming back. In our backyard, it's full blast sun all day, and they did really, really well. So I would say at a minimum, part sun. You don't really want to plant them in full shade. You might not see them bloom. Now, the next thing I absolutely love are alliums. I'm so excited because the alliums that I planted last year, I had Pinball Wizard, Everest, so many varieties, and a few of them did come back and a few did not. However, the ones that did show up offered me seeds, so I was able to harvest allium seeds this spring, which I plan to get started this year. It'll be my first time planting alliums from seeds, but for now I wanted to get another variety into the garden, and again, this is going to be going up front. There are 30 alliums in here of Purple Rain, and I really just love the Susish or Susian appearance that they have, and they work great as dried flowers as well, so they just really look cool in flower arrangements, and they hold up for a very, very long time. You can see on the picture on the back what it actually offers. So this is another exciting choice. Now last year, out of all the wonderful varieties of tulips, alliums, daffodils, one of the things that I loved the most was all of the hyacinth varieties that we planted. Oh, my yard was so fragrant. Some people do have hyacinth allergies. I didn't find it to be overwhelming at all. I do have a tendency to have like fragrance sensitivity, but these hyacinths, wow, they just did something to me. They came up early in the season. They lasted very, very long, and I have numerous varieties. Again, we'll go and we'll attach that video for you. This year I try to grab, again, some different varieties that will go in the front. So I did fondant and Janbos or Jambos. These colors, they really do come up this vibrant. The tiny little flowers have tiny little stamens, and the butterflies and the early butterflies that showed up absolutely love them. They had plenty of happy bees burrowing inside the tiny flowers, getting lots and lots of pollens and nectars, as well as the daffodils that I just showed you, and the alliums. Spring bulbs are so important, you guys, because of the bees. When they wake up, they really are very hungry, and they need to eat. They need to have nectars available. So it's important that we plant spring flowers in our garden so that we offer a complete ecosystem for them from spring until fall. Many of our bees overwinter in our marigolds and in different flowers. We just leave a lot of our garden go. We don't really mow it down until the springtime, because we know the bees are hanging on, as well as some caterpillar chrysalis or some butterflies, places where you may not expect to see them. So we try to let stuff go a little bit, again, so that we have food available in the spring. These varieties I grew last year, loved them so, so much. The white was so vibrant in the garden. The pink just had my heart. I'll tell you, there's something with baby pink and me this year. Baby pink and leopard print. I think it's a sign of my age. So, but anyway, these I thought were really, really beautiful. And again, I got all of these at Costco. So a few quick tips to offer you if you're really wanting to grow bulbs. I would say out of all of these varieties, if you're planting in a place where you know you have wildlife pressure, being rabbits and deer, they will eat the tulips. But if you want to see spring flowers, go for crocus and daffodil or narcissus. They don't really bother with them, and they, again, last for a very, very long time. They're easy to maintain. They seem to be reblooming every year. And if you're going to go ahead and try with the tulips, intermingle your tulips with the daffodils. Now remember, the daffodils are more of a clumping, strappy plant, where your tulips will come up taller, and your hyacinths and your crocus are more of a border plant. So you can layer these very fragrant spring flowers into your garden beds and borders in a way where your tulip bulbs will be hidden, and the rabbits and the deer will have to go through entirely too much fragrance to get to the tulip, so it protects them. So consider, if you're going to do tulips, give them a companion plant that repels deer and rabbits of fragrance like hyacinth or daffodils to ensure your blooms for the springtime. So anyway, you guys, if you have any questions, please post them below. Again, we are in Zone 7A, Northwestern Burlington County, New Jersey. We do get 4 seasons. It's the end of September. I will be putting these in the refrigerator for a few weeks, and I probably won't be putting them into the soil until November, weather permitting. Try to avoid planting your tulips too early because they just don't want that heat. So wait until your temperatures are dropping to below 40 degrees or before your ground freezes, which is most important. I've heard many people say that they bought their tulips or their daffodils and their spring bulbs and they forgot to plant them, and it's still December. Is it too late for me to plant them? If your ground is not frozen and it's workable, and you can get these bulbs 4 to 6 inches down according to the requirements on the back of the bag, it's not too late to plant them. So you want to get them in before your ground freezes or before you have any kind of snow. So anyway, you guys, I hope to hear from you soon. Please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if it helped you, and we hope to see you in the next video.